gentlemen, it's another exciting time on Say My Piece. You know your girl is here. I'm seated. I'm very excited. It's going to be a groovy day because one of our favorites is absolutely in the studio. I dressed up for it. You know, all the frills came out and the girls tried to come out to play, but I have to keep them all covered. My name is Lola One, and of course, you know, I'm here to give you bold conversation. I mean, conversation that will make you think. But I don't do this on my own. My twin brother, but I'm not Joyce. Yes, my other partner is here, my co-host, the very handsome, totally dapper gentleman himself. You know, grown, I almost said grown ass man. But it just felt wrong to say your brother and ass in the same sentence.
It works sometimes when you give compliments. Just like when you tell person, say, man, this guy, you bad. You know, normally bad go be like saying crazy. But a compliment.
Yeah.
In some circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Ogbolo. My humble self, you understand? I just add touch of color.
This boy they dress and they wonder where they see money. You go soon confess.
But
one of these days you go confess.
No, see, we they pray now. I know you cannot be walking. I know we're thriving. And we
I
bless God for
cannot
everything.
cry before you. I kneel before man.
Oh.
No way.
Say one more time. No way.
Oh, hallelujah, Jesus. I cannot cry before God and kneel before man. No way.
No way, no way, no way.
Somebody raise your hands and worship Jesus.
Just wherever you are
the
right
brother
now.
is in the building. Don't go there. Yes, Lola One is my name. That's what you call me. In the studio today, we have a friend.
Gang, gang.
He's an artist.
Gang, gang, gang.
And he's an artist. Because a lot of people confuse the two.
Yes.
You know, you can be an artist and an artist. You know, he's award-winning artist.
Mr. Sexy.
A sexy man himself. You know, a lot of people have convened. You know, sometimes the people look at him. In some years, they'll say he channeled a little bit of Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Because of his soft voice.
Yes.
Then after some time, some people said he entered that Bruno Mars era.
Yes.
Then after some time, he had his hair all grown and was channeling some sexy boy. And we could hardly look at him at that time. The crush of a lot of teenagers. You know, young girls like him.
Specifically.
Young girls like him. My daughter is such a fan.
That
used to just bust when he mentioned, girl, honestly, I don't know how to invite, you know, he has won awards.
Yep.
He has done music. He has released a lot of albums. And he's quite gentle. He's a gentleman on many grounds.
And very intellectual.
Seriously?
Deep.
Deep.
Only
Sometimes I think it's just crossing between. But let me not lie. There are two people I've met that I think is a traveler. If somebody tells me that this our guest is a time traveler that is not from this time, I'll believe it.
Well,
make welcome the very handsome gentleman Korede Bello.
Woo!
Thank you.
You say normally when they don't introduce person like that, DJ come play.
Yeah.
So now will be the DJ.
Oh, yeah, no problem. No.
Korede Bello.
Thank you. You come bless me now. I want to introduce. They have another guest that's about to.
But Korede, now wow. Let's go first because
I wanted to say something while you're introducing.
Okay.
When you were saying, "Oh, these girls used to crush on me," like you didn't used to crush on me.
Of course I did.
Teenagers.
Oh, I had a
teenager
huge.
then.
But you know, Korede, you've always lived in like an old man's body. Let's even start from
agree,
there.
yeah.
I remember in the early years, I just used to moon after Korede. But he was quite young.
Yes.
But he was very uncanny. How Korede he had this settled way. He would look at me and he would have conversation.
Yeah.
And it would sober me up. Would have conversation. At that time, we're talking when Korede was about 17. They're about 18.
When they work out, when he was always moving with his guitar.
20.
You know, with his guitar, 20-ish. And we would have mature conversation. I want to just know, Korede, how did you grow up? Did you grow up with your parents or
The elderly
your
ones.
grandparents? Because I'm wondering where the age wisdom comes from. Because it must come from somewhere.
That's a very good question. But it didn't come from who I grew up with. I think I've always been that person. I grew up with my mom, stepmom, um, grew up with my, family members. But I wasn't that kind of Omo Akbar that these
Yeah.
people who grew up
Oh,
with
really?
grandparents. I didn't grow up with any of my grandparents.
Mm.
But I've always been that guy. I was already into philosophy before I knew what philosophy was about.
Okay.
So most of my friends, even as I was a teenager, when I was in secondary school, most of my friends were people who had died thousands of years ago. So them Socrates,
Mm.
Jesus,
Aristotle.
Solomon,
Mm.
Aristotle, yeah, and the philosophers, the Greek philosophers, all of those guys. I like wisdom. I noticed that I loved wisdom. I used to write my own sayings at that time. I remember my classmates used to come, like I had this jotter that I had a lot of my own sayings. It just used to come to me. It's like life,
Oh.
my own, like there's some things I'll experience and I'll just like,
Just pen it down as
Yeah,
your own saying.
yeah.
Because I think I do that thing till date,
Yeah.
personally.
yeah.
But for me, my own was a case of growing up with my grandmom.
Grandma.
Yeah, so I was that child that grew. In fact, my nursery school era was with my grandmom.
Grandma.
So they used to call me. I used to talk like an old person.
Yeah.
So they would always say,
Everybody say, "Oh,
yeah.
Omo Akbar."
But your own shocked me. Say no.
Yeah, because our size
Absolutely.
is, I think what even makes it more pronounced is his gentle nature.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't, a lot of people think, okay, let me even say that. But do
Yeah.
you know a lot of people will say because you're a gentle person,
Yeah.
they actually think you're weak. Would you define yourself as a weak person? No, because some people see it that way.
That's why philosophy is very beautiful, because there's something called soft power. Water can break through the hardest rocks. Over time, water would disintegrate. It will break down the rock. Does that mean doesn't that mean the water is stronger than the rock?
Word.
A flower is very fragile, right? When something comes, when the wind blows it, it moves.
Yeah.
Rain comes, sun squashes it, and people see it as fragile. But the very things that don't have the nature of destruction in them are more powerful than the things that want to destroy.
Hey! Oh!
Do you understand?
Hold
If
deep, hold
something-
deep, hold deep.
If
See
something,
depth,
if
see
something
depth, see depth.
submits itself as vulnerable, say, hits me, blow me, I will just move according to it. That's more powerful than someone who has the spirit of destruction in them, because they are being carried by the energy of destruction. But life itself is given, and just like the wind is invisible. Does that mean that water
carry
is
power.
stronger than the wind? Because the wind controls the movement of the water itself.
Yeah, the waves and all.
Electromagnetic waves. These are things that we can't see. They're gentle. They're soft.
See the things that Korede is using to describe himself. Ethereal things, things that are on that high level.
I'm just saying that people, yes, mistake gentleness for weakness.
Yeah.
And that's why humble people, across time, they're being perceived as weak.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful irony, because it actually is more strength. There's a part in Proverbs, I think, where Solomon says, it is better for you to be able to control your emotions or anger than for you to want to call someone who knows how to control his emotions is
Yeah.
better and stronger than someone who can take over a city. Like person will just enter this place, start to follow everybody, fight, big.
Yeah.
But the person who's like,
Vivid
slaps
is
them
dangerous.
is actually more stronger, because
Yeah.
he's fighting the urge to be controlled by the spirit of
discipline.
anger
Yeah.
and discipline, just the spirit of destruction in general. It's power. It's power. That's power to me.
I think that for part of the reason why podcasts like this and interviews like this is beautiful is that it can show the other sides of certain people
Yeah.
who would just think are just artistic. Because a lot of people would not know how deep in thought a person you can be.
Right.
You get a lot of people would know. People just probably, said that's why we had to do this. Like
Yeah.
Lolo and I had to do this podcast.
Yeah.
People kind of see the other sides, of certain artists. And for me, I love it when I see artists who can really relate this deep. You get, but away from all of these philosophical and the
philosophical
over
things.
deep things, Korede, what's been happening? A lot of people have asked, where Korede did, where Korede did, where Korede did. I
A
say
day
he did.
like Korede.
And now this new
Korede.
album is Korede.
Korede.
You understand?
Yes, Korede.
Yeah, it's the day.
Korede.
So what's been
Korede.
happening? Because I know that is the question. When people see you, that is
Yeah.
the question that will come.
Yes.
What's up? What's been happening?
What's been happening? What's been happening is that I've been minding my business, like my song says. I've been minding my business, focusing on what pays me. I don't like to be available when I can't present value, or I don't like to be available just because,
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to be.
everyone is going this way.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
No,
No, I want to be impactful. I want to, when I have something to say, they say, there's also a saying, I remember this saying, I can't remember who says it, but a fool speaks because he wants to say something. But a wise person speaks because he has
That's
something to say.
Mm.
So in that frame, it's like
Yeah.
I want to show up when I have something to give to birth. A woman doesn't show up at the hospital and say, I think I'm pregnant. I want to deliver. No, she actually has a child to give birth to.
Okay.
She has something to deliver. She has something to say. She has something to reveal.
Yeah.
Just the same way the sun is not going. If the sun shows up and it's not giving light, it's of no value to the earth. So whenever my presence is felt or appears, I want to have enough light that I'm sharing, or something meaningful that I want to
But
give.
at that
It really
point,
is
yeah.
sharing lights in life. That's why I'm back in the face of the media now with my new album Korede. And pretty much it answers all the questions of
Okay.
where have you been.
Yeah.
Where
So
have
if
you
you listen
been?
to the album, it's like a therapy session,
Okay.
and it was like my birthday. I did it like as a birthday gift to myself.
And by the way, Korede has his birthday once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Nah,
So,
they gave birth to them the leap year.
yeah,
Yeah.
leap year, 29th of
Yeah.
February.
And
for
this year
the-
is a leap year, so it's
Yes,
a
he
special.
had his birthday this year, actually.
Yeah.
Actually.
So yeah, that's why I've been low key a lot of times, because it's easy for me to just be in. I
but
read mass
Korede-
communication, for
yeah.
instance, so I know and understand how the media works.
Media works.
Yeah.
I know how to get people's attention, but I don't like.
But Korede,
negative
would you
attention.
say that
Yeah.
it's some people think that because you present like a phlegmatic person,
Yeah.
and a phlegmatic person is just a laid back person, would you say that it's for lack of maybe drive, or some would say maybe limited vision? Some would say.
Yeah.
Even though I know what I believe. But there's a way everybody perceives something. Or is it the fact that you just don't like to stretch too much? And some would say that you're undervaluing yourself because you can do more.
Yeah.
But you just choose not
Not
to do
to.
more.
Direction is better than speed.
Hey, wait, please.
Somebody can be in motion. Doesn't mean that they're really getting far.
Yeah.
Because something is moving doesn't mean that it's really, moving
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
For me, let me just say for me, yes, I can do a lot more. Yes, I've been blessed with a platform and an audience. But like I said, for me, yeah, God is my first and my last. I know this might not make sense because I'm in the business of making entertainment and business of, being in the face of people. But God is the one that's directing my steps. If God moves, I move. David, for instance, whenever, people came to attack, he would go and first meet God. Baba, should I move? Would I overtake? Say I go win them.
Yeah.
God go say, no, never, go,
Yeah.
don't attack them yet.
Yeah.
Another time, you say, yes, you will,
Yeah.
go. So, and people don't understand that. I can't explain that to everybody. But that's my own personal journey. Another pattern can work for another person.
Somebody else. Yeah.
And that could work. But for me, I'm moving according to the pace and God. And I think one thing that people miss is short-sightedness. Because I'm not in your face in 2020, 2021 does not mean that that's the end of my story.
Yeah.
So in my own plan and vision and mood board, there's still so much more that's yet to happen. But everybody wants the immediate. Okay, are you supposed to?
Yeah, so but I suppose they make everybody.
But they
so,
drop, now they drop. They worry
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
But not be so. It be like long term is what I'm after, and also for the preservation of my soul. Like I sing, minding my business. It really is deeper than just a song. It really is what matters most to me, because there would always be another hot song. There will always be another hot artist. There would always be another hot trend. But everything way hot or cold. That's the nature of life. So am I gonna be chasing after? So fact, let me just make I even say my piece.
Talk
I mean,
say
you know,
your
the
piece, so
podcast
make
now.
them understand
The
you.
thing is that I realized that a lot of artists are actually mentally unwell and emotionally unwell. And I'll say this. Here's why I say this. Because almost every artist is chasing after the next song,
Yeah.
the next thing.
Yeah.
There's a disease of more that a lot of we artists have. And I was feeling like, wait, what? What is this? Like, I didn't come to this life to be like, they say the Sabbath was made for man, not man for Sabbath. How did they put it?
It's like a rat race.
Yeah,
You're
it's like a rat race.
constantly
It's
chasing,
just,
you're
and it
never
doesn't
catching up.
end. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be more fulfilled or feel better, you know. And for me, I just took a step back and say, let me reanalyze my purpose. Like, why am I here? Why am I sharing these songs? So that I do not miss the purpose of sharing the songs. It's not the song I'm chasing after. It's what the song can do for people. If you hear Godwin, if you hear, romantic, most of my songs usually are love songs from the beginning. Aside from like Godwin, Mungo Park, I really just want to share joy with my music. I want to make people feel something. I want to make people feel well.
Yeah.
Like music for wellness. That's the purpose. I'm not gonna be in the studio just because I want to make another hit song. That's not good for my soul, But God has also blessed me because I'm not hungry,
No.
God has blessed me to be positioned in a way that it still blesses me, because I don't want to contribute to audio poison, is what I call it. It's easy to just put anything out and people are consuming, chopping anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to share anything that I cannot eat. I don't want to share anything that my grandkids will be unsafe for my grandkids. So when I'm creating, sometimes I'm like, if my grandchildren hear this, would I want them to consume this? So I create from a perspective of like, I want everybody who eat of this fruit to feel better, to be well, and it's just safe consumption for everybody.
Wow.
Because in the sorry, Lolo, because in the with what he just said, in this pursuit, you can lose yourself. People don't understand that in trying to entertain people, you can end up living for people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you personally, you lose yourself.
You're no more there, yeah.
I just
it
want to-
it takes conscious effort to literally say, okay, you know what, stop.
Yeah. I know a lot of people do not know how important what Korede just said is. Korede, a lot of artists that I've known and I've worked closely with, they have one vice or the other that really consumes their mind. Have you ever had to battle any of it? Because I know I have never seen you imbibe, but is there a side to you that does that quietly? Because I know artists that I know recently I was at an event and Skills was there and he openly shared about his drugs struggle and his recovery and how music pushed him to the limits. I saw Solid Stars. I haven't seen him in recent time, but I saw his interview and I know that he did battle his own demons and maybe he's still battling. Korede,
Timaya also spoke of his
yes,
too.
he spoke of it recently. You can't
honest,
tell me that there's no hidden vice.
I like woman. I too like woman.
But
I'm just joking. I
even
don't
if
have.
you say you too like woman, you'd have to convince me that is even close to you that you like woman.
Exactly. I
But
was just joking.
Korede, it's impossible
Yeah.
for you not to have some kind of vice.
Are you saying
see-
wait, you think it's impossible?
It's this is
No,
why
okay.
we're where we're at.
Yeah.
Because there's a perception that it has to be that way,
Yeah.
and it's wrong. It's not true. Because I remember when I first came out, as well, and a lot of people were expecting me to be a type of way, like, this is the way it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be cool. This is what makes you cool. This is what makes you, this is how your videos, like, for instance, but it's not my power shot, but to the glory of God, like, I don't have any videos all my career where I'm like, objectifying women
No.
or like smoking and
Yes.
projecting something that I try to keep it clean. And here's what I was gonna say: it's very possible that I could have been one of the people who has drug addictions or just pleasure-seeking
Yeah.
addictions, because it's an industry of pleasure.
Yep.
You're pleasing people, you're pleasing yourself.
Yep.
But maybe I should even give a shout out to my manager, actually, Casper.
Casper.
Your environment will overpower your willpower. So most times people don't have a strong enough environment. That's why the environment, they cave into the environment. The industry is an environment.
Of course.
We know this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand? A
Yeah.
spiritual environment will
Normal.
be, you understand? So the industry is an environment, right? Now, if you're not surrounded by something or people who can overpower that other environment, or even your own internal environment, which has urges and cravings to indulge.
Why did you have to mention orgies? Is that a thing?
To smoke you go now, urges now.
It's an urge, no?
What? Oh,
It's pleasure.
okay.
It's
Oh,
I know
wow.
say your mind go. I know where your mind go. That's why I just say to
It's
smoke
all-
you go now, urges. Not
everything
just.
now. Yeah, everything now pleasure.
Urges.
It's
Yeah.
not here. Here.
Orgies.
No, no,
No, I
it's
just
U
want
R
to know,
G
because when he
E S.
said it, he hits me. So I wanted to know
Maybe not the Yoruba
that's
tongue.
maybe that's the bad part that we don't see.
No.
No.
But anyways, what I'm just saying is that I've been blessed to be surrounded by people who
Good support system too.
yes, who try to make sure that I don't. It's like a slippery mountain. It's our industry, like mountain, and just so many slimy stuff that can just pull you down. And there's some people are at the top of the mountain, but they're actually not there.
Yeah.
If you're a spiritual person,
Yes.
they're lost.
Yeah.
There's no, they don't know who they are, and that's why there's an indulgence or overindulgence in substances in the industry, because you have to continually be high.
Yeah, but Korede, a lot of people will tell me that some of these things that they imbibe, like weed,
Yes.
I have seen people swear by it.
Yeah.
That it actually inspires.
Yeah.
Is it that you want to tell me that you've never like skirted and pulled back? Because at some point in every of our lives, we play in some spaces that are not natural for us,
Of course.
not our habitat. Is it that it just wasn't your thing, or it wasn't something that you wanted to experiment with?
I tried weed before. It's not my thing. Very early on in my life. I mean, not in my life. I started when I was a child, but it's just something that people did around me. Also, I noticed something about myself. I have a very addictive personality. So whatever I find pleasurable, like it can. So you have to also know yourself.
Oh, we're so alike.
You have to know yourself as well.
Yes.
It's very important. There's because some people can indulge in some things and they'll get out of it.
Yeah.
And other people go take that same thing
And
Yeah.
bro,
and they're not there.
Yeah.
yes.
So you have to also know
You must.
yourself.
If not, you will follow everybody
You know
and
why?
then you will never come
You're
back.
lost.
Yes.
You would
You
never
know why
come back.
I'm so happy that he said that? Because a lot of people are going to watch this podcast and they're going to gain something.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to think that people have not skirted danger,
No.
but they made a choice to
Yeah.
pull back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our young people that I want us to influence, they need to know that pull back is possible.
Yeah.
Because the
pull
gospel
back's
out there
possible.
is that once you put your hand, I have addiction in my family, it's on my mother's side. I know there's alcoholism there. I have seen drug addiction in its harshest. I've had cousins who are full-blown drug addict, died in the addiction. So when I skirt around such things, I am very, very careful.
Yeah.
I don't follow because some people might be able to know where the
Absolutely.
balance is.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
for someone like me, I might not be able to. Do you know, I drank cocktail 2 weeks ago. Cocktail. Ogolo 2.
You were out.
The disgrace was no.
You know some salt for express.
I had to write it. Last week was when I wrote on my WhatsApp that alcohol is not for me. I will stay to mocktails.
Yeah, because everybody, you need to know where you're, because if not,
Yeah.
like he said,
Where your
you must know
boundaries are.
yourself.
Yes.
Know yourself to the point where this thing, like I've never been an addict for any form of
Anything.
substance.
Yeah.
I may have indulged in a number of them, but if you
Yeah.
follow me,
I
feel
know
go
people
lost.
we cannot follow.
You get.
I
If you follow me,
know.
if you go lost.
Yes.
I mean, I've smoked weed, I've smoked cigarettes, I've taken alcohol, and none was able to
Can't
hold
hold it.
me.
I
You
respect.
get. But there are people who just that one or two where they take.
My dad, I think, now that you mentioned it, my dad used to smoke a lot, like cigarettes. In fact, used to send him as a child, used to send him to go and get him cigarettes. And I noticed something, like he used to cough. And I said, Daddy, why are you coughing? And I say, it's because of the cigarette. So if you don't want to cough like me,
Don't smoke.
don't smoke.
it.
So very early on, he already planted something. Like, this is something that's it's not healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
I don't want to be that
Yeah.
That way.
kind of person who does that. So that was a very good priming again. Also for me, growing as well, I try to be on the wellness spectrum, like all my life,
Yeah.
whether spiritual, emotional, physical, like what is well and how can I share wellness, as I feel like that's my life goal. So like there's some things that I'll see that this one is not well, it might feel good now, but actually it's not a good habit.
Yeah.
You understand, to have. Or some people, you say some people swear by weed inspires, but actually nothing inspires anybody. It's already what's inside of you.
Inside of
There are
you.
people that are smoking weed that are not
And they
creating
still
the
bring
best
out dead
songs.
songs.
They're not making the best songs. They're
Yeah.
not having number ones.
Yeah. After I don't smoke one full bag.
You understand?
Nothing.
That
fit
demon
come
when
out.
they bring out and say,
It's
boss,
what's inside of you
I know
that-
they come your way. Hit song is not here.
Yeah. I think it's what's inside of you, and just even research, because I'm a guy that I like to understand the how all of these things work on the psycho level. So many of these things just trigger like the neurons, the fire for creativity, and they block you thinking or overthinking. Now, overthinking, they block creativity. So I think the numbness and the quietness of the mind allows you to see yourself and see what's inside of you. But nobody, and many people can get to that place. Why I'm saying this is because it's a place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's so many other destinations. There's so many other paths to
Yes,
get
there are
there.
levels.
Some
get
people,
there.
There are
they,
levels,
some people go
yeah.
kneel down like this, pray, they go reach there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
They'll
go
get
fast.
to a place
Yeah.
beyond thinking.
Yeah.
Some people go fast and get the place beyond thinking. So it's a place that's above thinking, where there's no thoughts. It's just like bliss, right? And some people get there through meditation. Some people get there quiet. That's why I try to get my own fix through other means that are healthy,
Yeah.
that's sustainable. I hear how much people are paying on for loud these days. Like
That loud.
I just started going close to the, there's so many things that I grew up very naive.
yeah.
In fact, I'll say that my spoilage is just now that my rotten is
It's rotting in.
rotting. But I grew up a little more held back. And I don't, what are your thoughts, Korede?
Yes.
Where do you want to draw a balance? Because sometimes people hold back to a point of they are not living. They are not enjoying life. Because a lot of young people that we are having now,
Yeah.
a lot of people, you are still in what I call
I'm still young, go. I'm still a
no,
youth.
I know you. That's why I'm saying is Korede a millennial or
Where they go?
I'm a millennial Gen Z.
millennial?
There are some
Gen
of
Z.
us like that.
Yeah, that is still a
Yeah.
little more. But this boundaryless life
Yes.
is what do you think about the doctrine of shamelessness? Because presently
It's not a
I'm
doctrine.
No, it's a doctrine of shamelessness. That's how
Yeah.
I'm christening it. It's my own coinage. I'm beginning to find out that artists are shameless. Now you do videos, you are a music artist. I'm not saying you do,
Yeah.
but you do music.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the way women are presented as objects to just lust after. I've actually seen artists touch
Objectifying
women,
women.
even in their videos,
Yeah.
to me, inappropriately. I love dance and I see dance as an expression, but una they too do.
I don't follow now.
And they look you, they use the eye.
Come on,
And they
handle.
look you industry now. I'm not looking at Korede.
Based on industry.
Based on industry.
Yeah.
What do you think is wrong? Is it a spirit of the times that is making us be more degenerate? Or what would you say it is? Because the music industry is what is selling drugs. They are the ones that are selling sex.
Yeah.
They are the
A
ones that
lot
are
of
selling
promiscuity.
materialism.
Yep.
I will see you, Korede. I don't even ever waiting. Which kind of balance you get where nobody get? You want to sell them? Because I've never even seen you walk around your house and say, "This is my crib, my spa, my internal gym."
The need for that validation.
Yes,
So-
I'm wondering why is it that the music industry is pushing that agenda so aggressively?
Remember, I said earlier that the entertainment industry is a pleasure industry. It's a pleasure field. I call it a pleasure pandemic. The word is experiencing a pleasure pandemic at the moment worldwide. It's like indulgence, overindulgence in everything. First of all, like an addiction that people don't see or talk about a lot is internet addiction.
Yep. Social media.
And it's pleasure.
Yeah.
It's pleasure. The basic culprits, if you go down to all of these things that you've identified and more, is pleasure. Pleasure pulls us away from ourselves, God, center. Pleasure. How do I put it? You know how people say sex sells?
Yeah.
What they really mean is pleasure sells.
Yes.
But there's a better version of that, is human connections sell better than sex or pleasure. The world where we're there right now, a lot of people think the devil now, they wear white.
Normally now.
You understand? And a lot of people
And
are
his white
addicted.
is Gucci designers.
They shine.
It's
Because-
Arab
yeah.
white.
Because
The
people have a
main-
notion that
Yeah.
white is good.
It's good.
Black,
Black
is
is
bad.
devil.
Meanwhile,
Red.
sometimes it's the other
Red
way.
is the demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why I said that is because pleasure is the enemy. Pleasure is the devil. Now, if you don't know how to balance pleasure, some people, for instance, do you know the reason why I'm privileged to know about a lot of rich people who have troubled kids
Yeah.
that are, battling addiction with
Yes.
substances. And it's because of pleasure.
Yes.
When you're raising a child and you let them indulge in pleasure, you let them have whatever they want. You let them stay over time with like the devices or, whenever they say they want this, to say they want that. It's not the object, it's the habit of pleasure that you're building in the child. If you grow up with older people, they don't like children overindulging.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's no.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
They'll
because
give you rice without meat sometimes.
yes, it's balancing the pleasure mechanism in the
They
brain.
cannot always get what it is that you just feel like
Exactly.
getting.
Because once you jar that scale, once you get there, once any human being child gets to that place, they want to have their way.
Yeah.
Way.
And that your way is now waiting I want.
Yeah.
Now I go do.
Yeah.
And that's I. You're creating an I. Now whatever that I wants, you give it. And that I is pleasure. You want to do your own will.
Well,
If I carry and go spiritual, it's like that's the first thing. That's what devil did. That's what Lucifer did.
Yeah.
It's like I will
I will.
ascend, So, but we have to check our pleasure. I don't know. There should be a pleasure police somewhere.
And it's a personal thing.
It's also a personal
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but it's very important that it starts from the home. Because what we're experiencing, the reason why I don't want to talk about the industry like you pointed, because these are just fruits. These are like symptoms of the deeper problem. The deeper problem is a pleasure pandemic. We're having a pleasure pandemic and people are doing whatever they want. And unfortunately, it hasn't been this bad because we didn't have
Social
devices
Yeah.
that can
To amplify
communicate it.
Yeah.
Back then, go yes, they were romance. They would have the biggest orgies and
Yeah.
I
those
think
parties.
is it Romans or Greeks?
The Greeks, the Romans, the
Greeks,
Persians.
the Romans, the Persians.
All of that was pleasure.
Yeah.
All of that was pleasure. It really is pleasure.
Mm.
So but when and pleasure is good and in the confines of what is what is supposed to be. A marriage, pleasure, pleasing God. You get more endorphins and hormones, these pleasure chemicals,
Yeah.
when you do something good for another person.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the irony of the pleasure is that it's not by pleasing yourself that you get the most pleasure. That's where the devil tries to
Which
trick
is
us.
selfish. It's from being
Yes.
selfless.
Yeah, it's
Selfless.
from being selfless. There's so much pleasure that comes with thinking about other
Blessing
people.
other
Yeah.
But if we have a generation that's thinking me first, what I
me,
want to
myself, and
do,
I. Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem. And that's where you find those situations.
Corey, let me ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Philosopher. Philosopher.
deep.
No, but Korede, are we looking at ministry? Is it a church or
If God
ministry
So my
or
definition of
a-
ministry is different from the way religious people they carry ministry. Ministry now just waiting they
Now your
put for your
platform.
heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, share it.
Share it.
Yeah.
They give you power, make you heal people, and
Yeah.
they say give you platform, make you teach people.
Yeah.
Teach. Oh, platform to sing.
Sing.
Yeah.
So services. Jesus was not in the temple.
Mm. Mm.
Jesus was not in the
Yeah.
temple.
About
He
these
was in the
streets, they run
streets. He
things.
was.
Yeah.
He was traveling around. They do what he
Occupying
would do.
anywhere you find
So,
yourself.
I'm more inclined to the spiritual aspect of God's will.
Mm.
God's will. If you talk, say this cameraman, now they serve pass for this old setup where we did like this,
Yeah.
is the most important
Mm.
because he's the one that makes sure that the light and everything is in the right frequency. Now he's serving.
Yeah.
If that point of service is corrupted or done well, anything, no matter what power or
Yeah.
wisdom you want to
Yes.
talk,
Yeah.
go communicate out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in fact, people who are creating tech platforms that can share things, they're also serving that ministry.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
but for me, it's what the quality of what I'm sharing that matters.
So now I was going to ask, yeah, we've said a lot about finding yourself and of course doing everything possible to be in that place where it's not necessarily about you, and of course discipline, right?
Yeah.
But for you, being in this industry,
Yeah.
is there ever a time when you felt unfulfilled? You look around you, some songs are popping. You look around you, some people seem, of course, there are those in the industry who don't want to have like a Wizkid, Davido fame.
Yeah.
They're just okay where they want to be, where they can still control their lives, where you can still, be in control. But have you ever felt at some point like unfulfilled? There was a time when it just felt like, your creative juices were not flowing. You were at that place where you were stuck, just literally felt unfulfilled.
Yes. There are times where I felt like I'm not myself. I'm most fulfilled when I'm on stage or when I put out a song and the people are making videos to it, or like you're on stage, people are singing the words. It's that energy. That's the fulfillment.
That feedback.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
that's the real. It's not the finance. It's good to have money to take care of whatever you want, but from where I'm coming from, which service is my thing to share. So when you create a product, right, and you share it with the word, unfortunately for you, you have to depend on other people's validation because what we're selling is service.
Yes.
So whether they like it or they don't like it, it's gonna affect you. It's gonna affect your emotional, psychological well-being. So sometimes you put these products out sometimes and it doesn't spark the way you expect it. So, okay, let me go and try it. But yeah, so in those times you feel like, but that is still thinking about me. Whenever I find myself in that situation, like, I'm still thinking about me. Like I'm still putting myself, if I put it out and 100 people find it meaningful and it's doing something beautiful in their lives, that's not my business. Like, why am I still making it about me? Because it's doing what it's supposed to do. If I make
Is this how you always feel? Because I understand that But at those times, those dark times, those times when
No,
man,
no.
I expected more, man. This thing don't.
Facts now. There are times, there are moments.
Because I don't
for
want us
sure.
to. What I'm asking is
Yeah.
because I don't also want us to present ourselves or
perfect
you as
narrative.
exactly
No,
like
no, no,
you
no,
know.
no. So
Because there may be one or two persons who is watching and
There's
say,
a reason-
Baba don't already figure everything for your life out now. So what do I want to learn?
no,
you know?
no. I get no. This is the exact reason why I started mental health advocacy.
Because I know you do a lot of
Yeah. and wellness in general. Because I realized that like people are chasing after number ones.
Yeah.
You know, people want to have the hottest song country every other month. Like that's not well. I got trapped in that rat race. It's like, wait, what? You know, you're being compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, they want you to do this. So it's like you're swinging, according
Like a
to the public
pendulum.
opinion.
Yeah.
That is not well. That does not feel good.
Mm.
But if you're already trapped and you believe that that's what you're supposed to do, at that time you could just finish yourself. Because you could believe, say, Nami supposed to be that one, and Nami supposed, you understand?
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I don't get there. The only times I feel like really down is, like I said, when you put out something, it's a baby, you put a lot of time, emotion in it, and it doesn't resonate for whatever reason. You feel down, you feel heartbroken. You send Peking go school and they carry report card
Come back in our past.
Now red.
No matter how much you love the Peking,
Yeah.
They
it
still
will touch
pay
you.
you.
Yeah.
So that's very natural. That's on human level. There are times that I feel like, I can do more, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm a musician, I like music, I can do this thing, but the times and seasons is important. What hurts the most, though, I will be honest, is when it's people's
because-
projections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who project where you're supposed to be, where you are not, where you no longer are,
Yeah.
where your family should be.
You know, like sometimes that they don't figure your life out.
Do you
You
understand?
now have to live it.
So that's
for
what
them.
hurts,
Through them.
because
Yeah.
you can't explain to everybody that you're okay the way you are. You're not looking for anybody's problem. You're not trying to compete with anybody.
Yeah.
Like I literally have to make songs like Jejeli, for instance, with Jejeli, oh, me a day my name. I literally have to make songs about it all the time. Like, I'm actually good. I'm good. This thing doesn't hurt me. Now they make
Because-
this thing.
Yeah,
a pain.
no, they carry headache for
Honestly,
it.
And
I've
that's
seen-
what hurts artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you being criticized a lot. And
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering what the issues really are.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
feel
don't
like
know how you're able to have this resilience that I've seen people go into dark places because of
Yeah.
people's criticism.
Yeah.
They just expect you. And I know that at some point you tried a bit of experiment because while everybody is growing, you are trying different things to see
Yes.
what works.
To find yourself.
So how do you just pull yourself out of that dark places? Especially when it's some people are so mean about their
own type of-
comments,
their
Yeah.
projections.
their projections to you that you're like, what is it? How do you develop that thick skin?
So, I will not lie to you, because it's still, you have to work on yourself, right? Oh, I think I got something in my eyes.
Fella,
Sorry.
it's
Yeah.
too much knowledge.
The guy they feel you too much.
I think you have to work on yourself. You have to get to a place. I got to a place where I realized that whatever people are saying, it actually is not about me. It's about where they're at in their journey. If somebody comes into the studio and everybody, y'all mad, y'all kidding. I don't know if I can curse in the studio. It's actually not about us.
Yeah.
If you respond, then you're actually mad because you understand that this person is not in the psychological
Space.
Yeah.
The person who's mad is the person who's fighting with a madman.
Normal.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to get to a place of clarity where you realize that hurts people.
Yeah.
These people are this is where they're at in their journey. And they just project all that poison out because they're trying to get the poison out. And unfortunately, anybody online, whatever, that's why the blogs and all the things, you see a lot of people
Comment section.
because people are looking for objects to throw their darts of poison at. So you have to work on yourself and know that, this is not about me, it's about them. There's space though for constructive criticism.
Criticism,
Yeah.
You take it. They throw poison. It's just like say person stone you apple. They stone you the apple. You see this guy stole me apple. You pick up the apple. This apple ripe. And I done the hungry since. Catch up. Another person never chop. They stone an apple.
Your
mad me.
papa, but
Show the apple
back.
back.
Boah.
Yeah.
You don't ask God for food since.
Yeah.
Food come.
Food can't come.
But you use your emotions.
You just throw away everything where they throw. You know
Yeah.
that inside of that painful packaging,
Package.
there's
Was a
good
blessing.
in
Yeah.
there. So there's space for constructive criticisms, and there's space just disregard and know that, oh, this is where this person is at, for instance. And I think that's what Jesus meant when he says, forgive them for they don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Because if to say just Jesus, it just they argue with those people where they cross, say, I know what they talk about now.
I know what
I know.
that
I
one
don't
has
see
waiting
heaven now.
I do for you people. Now no.
You know what they do like this?
Don't go better for
But
all
what
of
did Jesus say?
I know. Fire, burn them all.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so you have to be in that place where you understand that you can love the patient but hate the disease. You can love the people commenting, you understand where they're coming from, whatever,
Yeah.
but the disease of
That
this
they are throwing,
projection is
no
not
concern.
necessary. You understand? Which other analogy can I use? Fire. Let's say somebody's on fire here. You understand? But metaphorically, let's say and that fire is anger.
Yeah.
Lola, I don't like what you're doing now. You made you overrun the time. You know, your glasses, your that's fire. When you react, he has caught you with that fire.
Yeah.
Now there are now two people
Fire.
on
Burning.
fire. Do you understand? But who's winning? Is that kingdom of fire, which is the spirit
Destroying
of
both
anger,
of you.
spirit of destruction. And another person, the more that energy grows, the bigger it
bigger it
becomes.
One more.
Do you understand? So that's how I see it sometimes. And sometimes, obviously, you catch you now. You might be in fire. Just in bomb me, sha. You know, it's a saying that holding on to anger is like holding on to a hot coal and expecting not to be burned.
Burned.
You know, if you take everything people say at you, you're literally holding on to
Yeah.
emotional
Korede,
hurts.
Okay. What would you consider pleasurable for you?
Ah,
what do you
good
enjoy?
question.
Like this is Korede, like if I'm to overindulge in something,
Yeah.
what would it be for you? Is it travel? Is it chocolate? Because I know someone that as much as he talks wellness, I won't lie.
Yeah.
Chocolate bar.
Yeah.
His eyes will literally
Everybody has their-
light up like he can't help it. What's your own indulgence, as in for pleasure that you enjoy doing that doesn't harm, maybe basically? But what would you say Korede does that he considers pleasurable?
I like bananas.
Are you kidding me?
I know somebody's going to think I'm a monkey.
Monkey likes banana.
I like
I had
bananas.
banana today, banana and groundnut.
But yeah, I like
Bananas.
to make people smile. I don't feel happy when I can't be of help.
But you haven't helped me.
I don't come out to this is my first podcast because I came out because of you.
I
know,
love.
of course.
Let's go.
I know.
But when the people
Banana.
that are close to me, I like to contribute smiles. I like to contribute wellness. That's my pleasure.
Which one is wellness? What do you eat basically? What's your food choices?
I actually eat
Besides
what everybody else
banana.
eats. I like fruits a lot. I like to eat a lot of
What's
fruits.
what's the most what would I say? What's the strangest fruit you've ever had? Because I know you're well traveled and I love tourism. I love fruit tourism.
Pomegranates and fig.
Figs.
figs.
The one,
The one
that
that's in
has
the Bible.
Tiny,
I think it's pomegranates that has the
Korede
tiny
that
one.
has the tiny
yeah,
one,
yeah.
the like
Red.
wine
Yeah, it's
that
like
pops when you bite into it.
red.
Yeah.
No, does it pop?
Yes,
I can't
some
remember.
of them pop.
Okay, can't remember.
Ah,
But I think it was even. I think the pomegranate was blended, so I had it like a tea.
like a tea.
Yeah, I think it was when I went to Turkey. So I saw a lot of fruits. You know, Middle Eastern fruits
Fruits.
are really nice. I don't like cherry. Like
Are
the
you
poppin',
serious?
like the poppin', but I
You
don't
like
like.
to pop 'em? I hope you heard that. He likes to pop cherries.
All
Go, now she talk am.
this food talk no dey good.
Are you serious? I know.
But
No,
I
I
like
love
to-
fruit.
No, I love fruits, of course, but
Like
again,
what?
it's not like
What's
my-
your best fruit, Ogbon?
me. best fruit.
Ogbono now. Ogbono.
But
If you
do
talk
you
anything of
actually
your
eat
Ogbono,
ogbono
you
soup?
go change
I
your
do.
name.
No, before now, Egusi used to be like my thing, but then I was bearing Ogbola as a name. But later, as I grew older, I think when I hit 34,
Yeah.
35, it switched to Ogbola. For some
Oh.
reason.
Ah.
I don't know, it just switched. So, but
You
away
did
from
draw?
all these.
You did draw?
No.
Ogbono did draw now.
But it
Ogbono
depends. Some other areas they were the draw, one or two things. But now, let me ask this.
Yeah.
I know you did a song not too long with Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And first off, I know it must have felt wonderful.
Yeah.
People knew you and the Mavens back in the day.
Yes.
There's always been this, will I call it a myth or something, that when person work with Don Jazzy, it's almost
Yeah.
as if your songs blow. Then later on, when the person is no longer with Don Jazzy, somehow they don't get to see enough of that person anymore. What will your response be to that? Because people have it as a notion that you work with Don Papa J, you're allowed everywhere.
You're allowed
Next one, I don't to continue again, you don't go to see the person anymore. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, I think it is what it is. You called it a myth. I think it's a myth.
Okay.
I can't answer, for myth.
every other
I can
person.
only tell you of the person that I know, which,
Yourself.
Don Jazzy, myself, Don Jazzy. So I think sometimes, Jazzy sometimes probably pushes the art more than the artist.
Okay.
And maybe that's why it looks like,
Okay.
like it's like let me put it this way. Forgive me for using this analogy. When God they lead the Israelites with pillar of fire and light,
Yeah.
Anybody who won't try attack them,
Yeah.
it go day there with them. But the light's not on day, or the pillar with the direct not on day. They have to now start doing it themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes maybe it's that overwhelming presence of light
Okay.
and knowledge and support system that Jazzy gives.
Yeah.
Then, like, obviously, if the contract is out or whatever,
Yeah.
like you have to navigate the wilderness
Yourself, yeah.
by yourself,
Yourself.
literally. And Jazzy, I think the reason why as well is Jazzy is coming from a far place. Before Maven, there was more hits.
Yeah.
So it's very long-sighted. It's a visionary. I call him a seer. It's very long-sighted. So it's more than just one artist.
Yeah.
He sees beyond one artist. So he's trying to push wherever artist is pushing as a unit, as part of his story, where he's going. So if an artist is no more in the picture, remember that Jazzy already has followers and followings from way back that are still following him.
Yeah.
If the artist doesn't have a following, obviously you have to cultivate your own garden.
Yeah.
Let's say Ministry of Agriculture come your garden, they inspect everywhere. Say, do this. You go take care of your garden.
Yeah.
But there's also the role of purpose. There's chief gardener, and there's personal gardener. What I mean by that is somebody's growing grapes, another person is growing apples, another person is growing mangoes. They require different times and seasons for harvest. But everybody, because when let's say Jazz is the chief gardener, right?
Yeah.
You see mango in season, Jazz will post new music, Johnny Drill.
Yeah.
You see figs, you see magics, in June. You see Ira in September.
Yeah.
Strawberries or watermelon, whatever, right? Now, when the gardener, because you're following Jazzy, right? So you're seeing all these fruits. You get me?
Yeah.
Now, somebody, let's say an Ira who is like watermelon, right? She has to wait. If she's by herself, she'll wait for her watermelon to be a fruit in season. Do you understand? Because she's not growing grapes, she's not growing mangoes. But Jazzy is growing all of this. That's why you can see it at all time. So people don't understand that there are times and seasons and purposes for every type of season.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Because
Honestly,
truth is, a lot of times that's why it's important that people speak, because many people for outside they talk, you get, and especially when it comes to this criticism thing, I try as much as possible to always to tell people, if you don't know, ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just for like what you said,
Yeah.
you are where you are right now because you want to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not you're not trying to fit into every other person's expectation of a Korede.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
You are where you are right now, but at the same time,
We can even just
Yeah.
contribute something to it in your stock, right? I can appear successful in the eyes of the world,
yeah,
but I'm actually not where I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
Do you understand? I can have like all the number ones, all the projections of wealth and success,
yeah,
but actually be on the wrong wall of success.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Like if you be say, now yeah, God don't talk, so you go sit down. This is where you're gonna be successful.
Yeah.
And Lolo, you're gonna sit down here. This is where I say that you'll be successful and fruitful. But you want to be in the middle. If you sit down here, you're not successful. Even though you're
You
in the
have
middle.
everything, the spotlight, everything.
Yeah. This is, in fact, if you sit down on this chair, in fact, the word says sit down on this chair because this chair, the camera will catch you the best. It's the best angle.
Yeah.
You know, you have the most followings.
Yeah.
So these are the projections of success.
Hmm.
But everybody has purpose where God has planted you to be most fruitful for the generations coming after you. You know, and that's the part that I don't want to get on the wall, climb on the wall of success and be on the wrong, find out that I'm on the wrong wall.
Yeah.
You
At
know?
the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
People will move on to another, they will move on to another person to
Like
go and put that
sharply,
pressure
sharply.
or projection.
Because many think they are loyal, they're not loyal.
They're not.
No,
They're
no.
not. Me, I don't even expect loyalty when it comes to music. People just, it's a fad. It's what is hitting your hair right at that time.
At that
And
point
you
in
just
time.
gravitate towards it, but it doesn't mean they form connections.
It's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
pleases them at the moment.
At that
It's
moment, there
pleasure.
was a time Michael Jackson, people were dying. When Michael gets on stage, people literally faint. When the time came, he became the enemy of the world, where everybody criticized
You understand?
even when he coughed,
Yeah,
he was wrong.
absolutely.
But
Wow.
Korede, what is the worst criticism that you've gotten? Probably read somewhere about yourself or probably heard about a Korede. We taught you. We as you just hear and say, but wait, Mona, calm down
What is
now.
it?
You
I've
not
heard-
reach like this.
I've heard different things in the past. Some go pay me, some like, it's fine, it's all right. That's why I don't really respond to the trolls. But the one with the pay me,
Yeah.
one with the pay me pass, why they see, and it be like humor. They say, after God win, we no security bill. I say devil don't equalize. See that
Oh my
one? That one, they funny. But they pay me because what do you mean? Like,
do you
who
mean?
came up with something like this?
People they think no
Because you know they fear people, we know they fear God.
God.
You understand? So I'm upset on God's
wait,
behalf.
How did somebody think of something?
wait,
You know,
say-
I'm still processing it.
say it again.
God win.
God.
They say
They be
after
like-
God win, no security village. I be devil don't equalize.
Equalize.
So many people going to comment 1-1.
My God.
So that hurts me on behalf of God. Like I feel like David. Like who are these? Who is this uncircumcised?
Philistine? Oh my
But yeah,
God.
I know for a fact that in the end, God ultimately wins.
Wins.
Yeah.
We don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
Yeah.
I trust that God, who started my journey,
Yeah.
leading me through the wilderness, to the shadow of death, is my shepherd. And I will not want. I don't have want. I will take care of my needs.
Yeah.
Give me water when I need it, my daily bread. I'm protected. And there's nothing that's
And make you
that I
fly
want.
first class anytime you need to fly.
And just be okay. Live soft.
Just live soft life, wear
positioned
shine,
on
wear
the green
nice boots
pastures
that
Hey.
I don't have.
where the best lush
Well,
grass.
luxury.
If you're a
Don't say
vegetarian.
that God can give you luxurious life quietly.
Absolutely.
And
you're just
I like
okay where you are.
soft wealth.
No,
Yeah.
soft wealth.
Yeah.
Most of
Luxury living.
the artists today, do you think that I mean I read one of your interviews sometime
Yeah.
back where you actually mentioned that of course you love how the young artists today are
Yes,
really
yes,
pushing
yes,
out music
yes.
and doing, of course, but at the same time you also worry
Yes.
about where most of them what
Yeah.
they're going to give
Yes. The
soon.
quality of what they're.
Because of their
Sure.
own where they are, the age wise and
Yeah.
all.
Mhm.
Yeah, just speak a little bit on that.
So I won't give you.
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Zadie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
That's a very good question. A lot of people are worried about the quality of the music that young people are putting out
Yeah.
right now. But I think that that's just a symptom of something deeper. And why I say that is young people are not having enough experiences to share from,
That they can sing about.
that they
and-
can sing
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Why we love the music of the 80s and 90s, because by the time person blow, before person blow,
Yeah.
you don't see life.
Yeah.
But Marley know wetin sing before, you know wetin high see before he sing one love.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
Baba, you understand the quality of
Yeah.
experiences he had as a human being
Yeah.
gave us all this. Nobody talk about you.
Yes.
Then you are nobody.
Nobody.
Fela Kuti,
Yeah.
before he weaponized his music,
Mm.
you know, as a means of fighting against oppression,
Yeah.
he had quality experiences as a human being.
Yeah.
An artist is someone who shares his experience through his art, right? Now, because of the digital age, people are not having rich experience because a 15-year-old, 16-year-old,
Yeah. Has a hit
digital
song.
media,
Yeah.
hit song, but what is he going to be singing about?
Mm.
His experiences,
Mm.
and which is just pleasure seeking. Most young people are
Yeah.
pleasure
Pleasure
seeking.
seeking.
It's a pleasure seeking age.
Age,
Yeah.
yes.
We're talking about drink,
Yeah.
girls, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Before wisdom come, wisdom are like 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're early, you can get it earlier.
Rihanna
but
don't they get
even
the wisdom
40.
now.
Of course.
But you understand? So, like, quality music comes from quality experience.
Experience.
And I feel like we should crave, you know,
Better
yeah,
experiences.
we should find a way to make the society go back to values and the things that really matter.
Mm.
Because you, as a 47, sorry, I'm sorry, mentioning your age.
No,
But
say
as a-
it and make me laugh. They'll not think I've aged.
as a sweet 16, right? There's a bitter 16, bitter 16 that's going to release a music that's not going to resonate
of
with you
course.
because they're not
Definitely.
where you are.
Where you
Yeah.
are
So
at.
yeah, I think they should cut the artists some slack, but we should pray that people have experience. Like Burna Boy, for instance,
Yeah.
he speaks with so much conviction of his experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It comes from a place where he talk plenty things because
Yeah.
they don't see plenty things.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to come out if I don't have something to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to come sing because I just want to sing. I want to sing because I have something to sing
sing
about.
Think about.
Mm.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Wow, what an amazing time we've had with Korede Bello.
Thank you.
If you tell me that this particular episode you did not glean wisdom, then I really don't know what you want. Because I'm all about wholesome life, wholesome living.
Yeah.
I'm very family oriented because I have children that are growing and I'm doing everything within my power to give them better than I got. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of help. What I am today, who I am today, is a mix of me just powering through life and God just helping me, and I'm here. But sometimes I want to make it easier for my children to make better choices.
Yeah.
So this is a wisdom episode. Thank you so much, Korede
Thank you
Bello,
so
for
much.
coming.
Ogbololo.
Correct.
Thank you. Lolo and
Korede.
Ogbololo.
I think that for
Thank
me,
you guys
the
for
most
having
important thing from this particular whole
Yes.
this interview is the fact that you decide your life. You
Absolutely.
know, don't necessarily allow people help you, map out
Decide
what
it
purpose
for
should
you.
be for you. So everybody on your own, find out what it is, and don't be
What it
pressured
is.
into trying to live for people. You get, because everybody expects Korede want to see your billboard for grant
Every
every
day
year
goes
with a painting,
rest.
but he's fine where he is and he's doing well where he is. Of course, we all continue to project to do more and do better, but he's beautiful where he is, and that's the most important thing. All
Yeah.
right, Korede, we appreciate you. Your album, I know, say based on
Korede.
Korede,
Yes.
because people not to know.
Yeah,
Yes.
Korede. That's
Korede.
the day of harvest, the day of
Yes.
Ore. Korede is the bringer of good tidings, good news, good vibes. I feel like that's where my purpose really lies.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is I'm doing. I just want to bring light and share light. So Korede is the day of harvest. Is the day of the Lord. It's the day of good vibes.
Just on all
it's
platforms,
out now.
Abby.
It's
Yes,
on all
it's out now.
platforms.
It's out
Everybody
now.
can just go
Yes.
take a bite.
Yeah, on your favorite music platforms.
And like you
Trust
said,
me.
it feels therapeutic.
yes,
Yeah,
therapeutic.
so go
Absolutely.
get therapy while I go get
Other things.
other things. All right, we'll see you again on our next episode on our podcast. But keep saying your piece. Don't keep it bottled. Speak, because you can get help when you do. Bye.
Say your piece, share your piece.
Normal.
Yeah.